The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John McInnes. I'm the President and CEO of Print Audit, and I'm excited to be able to present to you today our latest product release, which is the Print Audit Embedded platform for Kyocera. Before we get started, I'm going to go through a little bit of housekeeping. But first on the screen here, for those that have arrived early, you see an April Fool's Day joke that I found on Google that somebody had put on their Kyocera copier. It says that the copier can, or the MFP can work via voice command, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that up as something for you guys to take a look at when we start off. We have today people from around the world on our presentation and watching this presentation. So welcome to those folks from Canada, North America, South America, and also we have a ton of people that are watching this in the middle of the night wherever they are. So thank you very much for your time today. And also, of course, welcome to all of our Print Audit Premier dealers from around the world. Thanks for putting your faith in us. We've really enjoyed the ride with Print Audit Premier. Okay, so the presentation that I am about to take you through shouldn't be longer than about a half an hour. And what I'm looking to do is show you some of what we've done with the Kyocera Embedded, tell you a little bit about Print Audit if you don't know about Print Audit, and then give you the opportunity to ask questions. Now, the presentation, all of the people on the presentation, because we've got lots of them, they're on mute. But you'll see in the go-to meeting window that's control panel that you can ask questions via that control panel. I've got Paul Georgie, who's our customer success manager for our Print Audit Premier dealers in North America. He's going to, at the end of the presentation, read me the questions, and I'll do my best to answer them as we go through. And so please feel free to ask questions all through the presentation. Type them in, and we'll get to them at the end. There's plenty of time, and like I said, I don't expect this presentation to take more than 20 minutes, between 20 minutes and a half an hour, and then we'll spend as much time as you guys need to go through questions. So as you can see here, we're really excited. We do have some people who have gotten to see the Kyocera before the rest of the world who have tested it for us, and this is a great quote from John Olson at Xeno Imaging. They've been playing with it, and they've been doing a really good job of testing it and sending us back data. The other place where we showed it was 2 weeks ago. We had the Kyocera dealer convention, and that's where we really launched the embedded so that people could see it on actual machines. And we're pretty happy to report that at that meeting, John Hewitt and Wes McDonald from Print Audit who were there, they came back and told us that the people who had looked at it found it much easier to install than anything that they had used before. So installation is one of the things we always try and make easier for our dealers, and so I think we succeeded there. They really like the workflow for the print release, so that's releasing a job at the actual device that you printed from your workstation so that it's not sitting on the tray waiting for you. And we were told that we were the only embedded to offer nested multi-field chargeback options for companies like law firms who have matters and sub-matters and sub-sub-matters and so forth. And I'm going to show you that in the next few screens. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a good way to show what's happening on an actual device without having a video camera and taking you through it. So what I've got here are just screenshots of what we see on the screen. The best way for you to try this is to contact Print Audit, request a copy of the program to try it in your demo rooms or to see the program and see how it works, and we'd be happy to help you with that. So what you're going to see next are just a series of screenshots, and I'll try and take you through how we through the user workflow and the user experience for your end users. So here we go. You start off, you walk up to the device, and you'll see two choices on the screen: copy, scan, fax, and release print jobs. So the copy, scan, fax is just that. you'll be able to put paper on glass, and we'll get to that second. But first we're going to start with the release print jobs. And the workflow here is really simple. So the user, your end user, your customer, they click on print. The job is then secured, and it's sent up to the Print Audit Secure server, and it waits for a device to allow it to be released. Now in this case it's the Kyocera device, but the job really can be released anywhere, but we'll show you what it looks like when you release from the Secure. But first thing you need to do before you do that is you need to validate who you are. And as far as we know, we're the only company with our embedded that gives you several different methods of authentication. The first one being swiping your card. So you can swipe your card, and if of course you don't have your card with you, you can click you forgot your swipe card, and then you can enter in other types of credentials, or you can always be set up to enter other types of credentials, like you might have a PIN code. Instead of your entire name, like John McInnes, domain, print audit, domain with a whole bunch of backslashes and things like that, you can actually have a PIN code and a password, or you can just have a username and password, which would be your domain-based password or your email address or whatever. And the nice thing about the system, as we've mentioned, is there's lots of ways to get into the system and to be able to release your jobs. And we know that that's a key pain point for end-user customers. If they've forgotten their card, forgotten their PIN code or whatever, we've got different ways for them to be able to get into the Kyocera. So you've authenticated, you've sent a job, and now it presents you with the print jobs that can be printed onto this device. Now, what I mean by that, print jobs that can be printed onto this device, you might have sent a job to an HP device and want to release it here. Well, if they aren't compatible, it won't show here, or it won't allow you to print it here. It's up to how your administrator sets it up. Or if they are compatible, and most printers are actually somewhat compatible, you might have sent it to an HP but want to actually release it at the Kyocera. Well, now you've got the opportunity to do this. So you can see really, really nice interface. This is a touch interface with your finger. Choose the documents that you want, or you can release all the documents, or you can click on the information screen here for more information about number of pages and things like that. So we've been told several times that this is a nice, clean, beautiful interface, and it is one of the things that we try and do at Print Audit is usability is really key. And we've tried to cut down on user clicks as well, because we know that that drives them nuts. Okay, so you've released your job, it's in your hand now, you're a happy person, you can go back to your desk. Or you might be walking up with paper in your hand. And paper in your hand, you're going to put it on the glass, and you're going to do one of three things with it. You're going to copy or scan or fax. So you touch on the copy, scan, fax screen, again on this really, really nice interface, and we've already authenticated before, so the authentication options would be the same. You then get to choose for chargeback. You get to choose who you're going to charge this to. So this might be to an account, and I think one of the companies that would use this most, or one of the verticals that would use this most, are law firms. So in the case of a law firm, they will be charging it off to what they call a matter code or a customer code. So in this case, you can see without search criteria put in, where you can start to, with search criteria, you can actually start to enter in information, and it will filter and refine the search criteria until you get to where you want. But in this case, we've got 3 different customers: Acme Industries, Johnson & Johnson, and ABC Company. You click Acme Industries, and then go to Next, and then it'll allow you to start to copy or fax. But I'll show you one other piece that we found with the dealers that we showed this to at the Kyocera show and with our beta testers on this program. One of the things that people love is we seem to be, and I might be wrong on this, but this is what we've heard, is we are the only company that has more linked value fields. And so you can, for each, let's say, customer matter number, you can also have sub criteria, or sub matters, or whatever they may be called, but they're linked to the master client. So in this case, it's we chose the 1000 code, the atomic energy, and then there's subcodes that can be related to that particular client. So in this case, you could choose 10.0001, nuclear waste lawsuit, or land purchase. So, and there are multi-levels of this that are very cool within the Kyocera and within the Print Audit system. So it really works the way your clients work without having to get them to jump through hoops or work on the actual chargeback when they're going to do the billing. So they've gone through the entire process of choosing the matter, choosing the client, and then it simply goes to, hey, thank you for using Print Audit Embedded. You can press OK to copy, scan, or fax, and what that allows it to do is it opens up the copier the way that people are used to, and they'll see the typical screen that they do for copying, fax, or scanning, and then they will it will collate and take the number of pages and the information and send that up to the Print Audit database. You can also see here that we've got user and a balance remaining. Another one of our most popular verticals for Print Audit is balance-related, declining balance-related companies or schools or colleges or whatever, where they have a balance. That's directly into the Print Audit system, and as it declines, they will not be able to print, copy, or scan once they get to a zero balance, and you can top it up and all those sorts of things. There's lots of ways to do it. So I know that seemed really easy and that seemed really quick, but that really is what we're hoping for with our end users and your customers, is that it's not too much of an interruption in their day to use this system, and it allows them, of course, to do billing, to do declining balances, and to control the devices that you sold them even better. And of course, the software on the device makes it more sticky for you. So again, that's the end of this portion, is showing you how the software works. Feel free to, if you missed the beginning, off of your GoToMeeting console, there's a place where you can ask questions, and I see that we're already getting a bunch of questions, but I'm going to get to those at the end, and then we'll at the end of the presentation we'll go through those questions. Paul's going to ask me the questions, and I will do my best to answer them. So for those of you that are on here that are excited about Kyocera but don't know anything about Print Audit, I'll tell you a little bit about Print Audit, the company, who we are, and where we've come from. Print Audit is 14 years old, which is amazing to me. It's gone so fast, but we've been around for a long time, and we're well established in the imaging industry. We have 9 offices around the world, and so we cover every time zone. Our products are in 7 languages today. We have over 1,016 active dealers that are using our products, our device management, and I'm going to get into some of our other products in a second. We've got 1,016 dealers, but what we're very proud of, and something that has worked really well for us over the last couple of years, is as of this morning we've got 291 Premier dealers worldwide, and I'll explain Premier in a couple of seconds. The other thing that we're really proud of is that Print Audit has won literally every software award in our industry. We're one of the highest awarded products that's out there, or product sets. And I took this off of our website. It actually scrolls down quite a bit further. There's lots more on here. But on the left is something that I haven't seen from other companies, and it really, these are business awards, so they're about how we run Print Audit. And so the Entrepreneur of the Year Award, we've got the National Quality Institute, which is a very, very tough award to get, and it has to do with management policies, how we treat our staff, how we treat our customers, and just how the business is run. And I think that really that's what takes a business from 0 to 14 years is being well run, and we've won a ton of awards for that, and our customers whenever they come on as a dealer or a Premier member, they tell us we had no idea what a great customer relationship company you are until we started working with you. So as promised before, I'm going to quickly go through, you saw the embedded, but Print Audit actually has 11 different product sets, and so I'll quickly go through the 11 different product sets. It's funny out there in the world that people either think of us as a device management company or a user management company. We actually do both. Print Audit Facilities Manager is probably the largest single system for monitoring devices around the world. We monitor over 900,000 devices on a monthly basis for, as we showed you, about 1,016 customers. And we're pretty proud of the growth of this. We've almost doubled over the last year and a half, and we expect that to grow even faster now that Premier is catching on so well. And essentially, Facilities Manager is remote meter reading, device management, supply service management, all sorts of things that you guys would be very familiar with, and we're excellent at it. Print Audit 6 is all about the user and workflow analysis, and these are tools that your end users will use to manage their printing, but also you can help them to manage their printing. So there's print rules, cost recovery. There's more than 2.5 million users, end users of this software, and so it's in use all over the planet. And you know, really, when you grow a company over 14 years, there's nothing better than having your customers, the end user customers, use it and stay with us, and we're really excited about that. Print Audit Assessor. This is a really key piece that a lot of our dealers are using to win new customers. Over the 14 years that we've been around, there have been over 10,000 assessments done at end user customers, and really the assessor is a combination of not just device-based assessment, but it's also user-based assessment. And we know that the difference between just device-based and user-based is if you're doing device-based, your typical close rate is around 20%. When you add the in-depth user-based assessment, you're going to go up to an 80% close rate with your customers. So it's a massive increase in close rates with your customers. Print Audit Secure, this was part of the embedded that I showed you. Essentially, it's printing from your workstation and having that job secured and only released when the user is at the device. And the cool thing about our Secure that we really like is it's a web-based interface, so it looks very, very clean. But also, you could print to one device and release to another, which is industry called follow me by some people. But essentially, you can release the job wherever you want. Don't release it at all, but it is secured, and it's a pretty cool thing. And we know that over the years, we're somewhere around 10 million secured print jobs that have been secured by customers using Print Audit Secure. Print Audit Embedded. So this is what I just showed you. We have currently, as we release Kyocera today, we have a Ricoh, Sharp, and Kyocera embedded. We're working very hard to get more of the embedded done. We expect Lexmark and Xerox as well this year. We're working on them right now. And in the future, our goal is to have embedded for all of the makes and models and manufacturers out there. The Rapid Assessment Key, this is a real favorite with end user salespeople. There's over 3,000 salespeople that have this key around their neck, and they walk into customer sites to do a very quick assessment, device-based assessment of what the customers have for devices and supplies and volumes. And so really, really popular. So at Print Audit, our mission, what we do is we help office equipment dealers to grow. And over the last few years, we've made some real major changes to how Print Audit goes to market. And the biggest change is, as you've seen on the screen, is Print Audit Premier. And essentially what Premier does is it takes all of those 11 products that I showed you before, and it bundles them into a flat rate program that you can get access to all of them, almost unlimited access to all of them. And really, it allows you to do three major things when you do this. And this is really the brand promise and what Print Audit does for our dealers and how we help them grow. The first is we help them win new customers. So what you're seeing here, I'm going to have 3 tiles across. These are actually live. These are off of our website, and our website shows these golden numbers will show on they're updated daily, so it's a live feed from the Premier portal showing the success that our brand promises are having with the Premier dealers. So out of the Premier dealers that I showed you, they've won about 835 new print management customers, and they've done that through the in-depth assessment. They've done that through presenting solutions to the customer and really approaching the customer a little bit differently than they do today. And we get a ton of accolades from our Premier dealers, and we're pretty excited about how that works. The next piece is keeping current customers. So the model has changed. We've changed the model completely from a purchase model of software to essentially our Premier dealers now own the software. So, and again, this pulls right off of the website, off of the Print Audit Premier website. And essentially the way that things have changed and the reason that you're keeping your customers more, keeping them tighter, is what used to happen is you would sell them the software and then they would own the software. So in many cases, the customer would then, after a few years, they'd still have the software, but they may not be your customer anymore. In fact, our maintenance and licensing people did a survey a few years ago, and we've watched this pretty closely, is that 85% of the end-user customers that bought the software off of dealers over the first 10 years or 13 years of Print Audit are still with us, but only 30% are still with their dealer. And we knew that helping office equipment dealers to grow, this being our mission, that was really a conflict of interest. And so now with the Premier system, because it's a flat rate, you guys own the software. And so at the end of your contract, if the customer wants to move away from you, and they're just having a choice between the little green button, now with the software on there that's become part of their workflow, the security, the rules, and the recovery, if they want to move away from you, they have to delete that software as well. So you can see how this makes you now very sticky with your customer. And so since we started the Premier program about 2 years ago, 95% of the customers that have been added by Premier members are still active. And the next piece of this business model, and probably one of the most important, especially for office equipment dealers, is building a new recurring revenue stream. Because you are essentially renting the software, you own the software and you're renting it to your dealer, to your customers, they're paying you a new monthly revenue. And we've seen, you know, our dealers are kind of up and down with how they sell the software to the customers. It might be per page. They might add it per page with new customers, or in many cases, let's say a law firm, they can charge between $2 and $5 a user a month. But to date, our 291 Premier members have added about $3.1 million in additional monthly revenue, and most of our dealers are profitable within 90 days on the system, and but all of them are still with us. So we have 100% retention of our current Premier dealers that have signed up over the last couple of years. So we're very excited about how this has worked, and really this is how we've turned the world around and the model works. So win new customers, keep current customers, build recurring revenue. So that's where we are. I've told you about the business model and about Kyocera. So now we're ready for questions, and hopefully you've got lots on here, but I'll repeat again for those of you that joined us late. There's a window within the console of your GoToMeeting where you can type in questions for us, and so I can see that there's some on here, and Paul's going to read them to me, and I will do my best to answer them. And Paul, you've got lots of feedback.
And you can hear me? You can hear me okay?
Yeah, it sounds like you're wielding a lightsaber. Okay, that's better.
Thanks, John. So the first question we have is, can you limit which users can charge which clients? So I guess they're looking for a balance on each client, or even limiting the user's ability to access clients.
You know what? I don't know the answer to that one. Do you know the answer to that one, Paul?
Actually, yes, you can. So you can put a budget.
Okay. So Paul's not only going to ask the questions, he's going to answer the questions. I'm just the figurehead.
So yes, we can limit which users can actually have access to clients. You can build 5 different fields of clients, and you can individually parse those out to either users or have them linked as, let's say, a client matter code. The second question here we have, John, is do we have French support?
Oui, nous avons aidé en français. But I don't think we've finished the Kyocera embedded French support yet. But Print Audit 6, I believe, is in French. FM is in French, and we will be within the next couple of releases of the Kyocera. We'll probably catch up with the French files. And I'm not again with that one. Paul, do you know where we are in French for embedded?
I'm not too sure on the embedded. I know that the French language support for Print Audit 6 has been out for a while.
Okay, so we see this as you, Steve Rodriguez. Oh goodness, Rodriguez. We will let you know when the French support comes out for embedded.
Another question here is, can you use different rates based on different devices used?
Yes, absolutely we can.
Another question here, do you support 3-tier color metering and billing?
So that would be with our Facilities Manager product, our remote device management, and yes, we support 3-tier color meters and billing.
I have another question here. Will this work with Apple computers?
Yes. So far, I think I've answered yes to everything. So yes, we have a Print Audit 6 has a Mac client, and so you can print jobs from there or send jobs from there to the devices.
I've got another question here. Is when will this be available?
It is available today. I believe the press release is going out right now, so we're available and releasing it today, and we're having our release party today with some champagne and things.
Got another question here. How do you authenticate to a user's balance?
So there's a couple of ways. One is we have a balance. It depends on how that is built within the within your system, so how your customer works. But Print Audit has its own balance system within Print Audit 6, and so you can authenticate via Active Directory, or Print Audit again has its own authentication system for smaller companies that may not have Active Directory. Anything you want to add to that, Paul?
No, I think that covers it. So the balances you can set within the Print Audit 6 system, and for all the usage that an individual user does, it declines from the balance within the system itself. We've got another question here. Does this work with mobile printing?
Sort of depends on how you're doing that. We don't have a Print Audit system for tracking printing off of mobile. So if you actually send the device printing from a mobile device, we don't track that right now. It's something that we certainly get asked for a fair amount, though the requests for that are starting to go down a little bit, but we are working with some of the leading companies out there to integrate with them, and so hopefully we'll have some news on that in the next little while.
Got another question here. Are the reports exportable to Excel?
Yes.
And that looks like all the questions for now, John. Oh, we've
No,
got another one here. Sorry.
Yeah.
It says, are certain badge readers supported by this technology?
You know what, it really depends on the manufacturer, certainly RFID, but whatever, if it can get us an authentication code through a badge reader or whatever, then we can take the information. So whatever the manufacturer is suggesting for badge readers, we can then use it for.
Got another one here. Does this application, the embedded application, track scanning from other applications like DMS Link?
So the answer is yes. Anything that is going through the scan engine of the Kyocera, we will, if you're logged into the Print Audit, we will track.
And I got another question. What languages does the embedded support? I'm not too sure if we've got a list of languages at this time, but we will be providing one shortly.
I think as of today, though, for the Kyocera Embedded, we're releasing English today, and we're getting the other language files translated by our worldwide offices, and so it should be, they should follow quickly behind, but today we're launching Kyocera in English.
And John, that looks like all the questions so far. If anyone else has any additional questions, please feel free to add them in.
Awesome. Yeah, so in addition to that, we've got operators are standing by, so to speak. We've got all the Print Audit staff here. We're pretty excited about launching this today, so you can we can send out some information on, well, you can always get Print Audit through our website at www.printaudit.com. For all those people joining us from worldwide, contact your closest office, and for North America, you can get in touch with us through the website as well. Ask for sales if you'd like to try it, and support if you've got some questions.
John, we're actually getting a couple more questions in here. The first one is, where is your development team located?
We are all located out of Calgary, Canada, where the sun is actually shining today, but it's supposed to snow again tomorrow. Unbelievable, but it is true.
And we've got another question. Where can we find pricing, etc.? Is it on the Kyocera website?
Again, what I would suggest with that, I don't believe that it's on the Kyocera website, because Kyocera sponsors the product, but they don't actively sell it. We're working with them on a model for that. So what you would want to do is get in touch with your closest Print Audit office. And again, you can find that by going to www.printaudit.com and go to contact.
And that looks like all the questions. Again, I think we've got a bunch answered already.
Oh wait, we've got one here. How many developers? That's a very good question. All of them, I guess. We're constantly hiring new developers, but I think we've got about eight or nine now working on these products, and we're in the midst of hiring 2 more. So if you've got some ideas of developers, Sharon, we'd love to know. All right. Well, so I'm going to leave it off there, but again, thank you very much for your time. We were 32 minutes today, which is great. I'm glad that we didn't take up too much of your time. I hope you learned something today, and we're really, really excited about the launch of the Kyocera. We've been working on this for a long time, and it really has gone back and forth with some real great partners of ours to test it. And so feel free to reach out to Print Audit or to Kyocera. They know where to reach us as well. And we'll leave it off with that. Thanks, everyone.